Alright, welcome to another episode of Gryphon's Choice. This is Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Just picked this up yesterday. However, I picked up a digital copy. I will explain on that. Because of that, it took me forever to download it, and then I don't know why it didn't download overnight like I was supposed to, so I had to finish downloading it today, and then work, and then dinner, and then here I am now. So, a little bit of explanation. So I was originally going to be playing this game physical disc copy. I had it pre-ordered at GameStop, even switched it from Xbox over to PlayStation. It's going to be great. And then, for anyone who is not aware, I do work for a retail toy company. Figure it out if you really want to know. And because of that, PlayStation has this, Sony and PlayStation have this thing called On PlayStation for retail employees, where we can go in and we can take some quizzes and surveys and stuff and earn points and spend those points, along with a little bit of real money, on different goods. So this game popped up yesterday on there for $5, and I think like, I don't remember how many points it was, but so I was like, $5 rather than 60? Gotta go with that. So that's why I'm broadcasting you with a camera, so you guys can see me now. I don't know why I did that. That was dumb. For those of you who have not watched any of my PlayStation videos before, they've all been cameraless. I don't have a capture card yet, so I'm not able to, use PC stuff. So I'm having to use have the Kinect for my Xbox streams, and now I have a PS4 camera for my PlayStation streams. So, you guys get to see the drinks, the bottles I'm drinking. I'm not going to show you the label. Guess what it is. I don't know. Now I'm just being dumb. This is for all you people coming to the pre-show. All you people who actually watch my full videos on Twitch. Thank you. I see you, Scott. He knows what I'm talking about. But we'll be doing an official YouTube intro here in a moment. I know that noise is annoying. Let's not do that. Okay. So yeah, so because of all that, got this for $5, and then I ended up just basically canceling the pre-order and using that money towards PlayStation Gamer. So now I have that. I think I'm going to change this. I don't like this. Having to look down to see the camera. I don't like it. So we are going to pop this up here. I'm thinking, what if I slide that out of the way? Because I was putting it on top of my Kinect before, but what if I slide the Kinect out of the way? I mean, I'll just have to readjust it every single time. But that's fine. If that's what we gotta do, that's what we gotta do. Go back in here to settings real quick. Advanced settings, camera, find face. Whatever. I mean, so that shows a little bit more of my shirt and I guess it makes it look a little more like my videos I'm doing over on my PC rather than my Xbox. That's fine. It works. It's cool. Let me check something real quick. I know there is certain settings in here. So I can do this. What does that look like? That looks bad. I'm just ahead. So it's not like super tight on me is the problem with trying to use this auto cutout thing. I mean, it does this. That's bad. And then this is the next step up, and then the next step up beyond that is this. It's still getting all of that wall behind me is like, no, I don't like it. I can try the circular cutout. Okay, so if I had blue or green, okay, so okay, so that would make sense. I mean, I guess that's kind of cool. They actually have a full-on button in here for if you had blue or green screen, you can just use that chroma key it out. I may look into that. Just throwing something behind me. Just make it disappear. Just go, and just make sure I don't wear any blue or green on my shirt. Alright. Now that I got the camera set up. I mean, I feel like I'm off. No, I feel like I'm good. Okay. I don't know, I'm not used to seeing myself on screen. So it was weird, but I'm looking at the screen, but I'm looking at the bottom corner of the screen because that's where my face is. So it looks like I'm looking way down in the corner. I'm just like, yeah, it looks good. But I look at you guys and I see that on my corner of my eye and I can't see what it looks like, so I don't know. I'm being dumb now. It's been a very long day. Work was work. You know, if you haven't ever worked retail, give it a shot. You may want to kill yourself. I don't know. Anyway, that's beside the point. Let me do an official YouTube intro, and then we'll actually get into this, because this has been my longest stuff ever. Hello, welcome to another episode of Gryphon's Choice. Today, playing Deus Ex Mankind Divided. New release came out yesterday. Unfortunately, my PS4 and my internet connection were not getting along, so I was not able to play it yesterday, so I'm playing it today. Finally got it all downloaded and ready to go. So this is straight from the beginning of the game, so if you are sensitive about spoilers, if you don't want anything spoiled from this game, you might not want to watch this, because I'm starting from the very beginning of the game and just going. I have not touched this thing yet, I have not watched other people play this game, I know nothing. Nothing specific, but I do not know what this game holds for us. I know the code for the first door, because I saw that was a trophy, and I wanted to make sure that I got it. Also, in case you were unaware, this is the first time on video streaming from a PS4. Picked up a PlayStation 4 camera, actually with my pre-order money. Instead of buying this game, physical disc from the lovely people at GameStop, I instead bought a PlayStation camera from them, and instead got this game digitally for $5 because I work for a retailer, and there are ways to do that with PlayStation. If you want more details, if you are a fellow retail employee, you can reach out to me in the comments, and I will direct you accordingly. Awkward stare. Alright. Sorry, that's yeah, I felt the need to talk about that, especially, I will mention that in my review as well, because there are some people who do feel like that is a factor. Like, it does, how much you pay for a game affects your opinions on the game. I've definitely heard that as being an argument before, where, if it's a $60 game, but you got it for free, how can we trust your opinion? But if you paid $60 for it, you feel like, some people can get I guess a good example would be, No Man's Sky. Some people think that game not worth $60. Some people say, if I had been only paid $30 for this game, I would have been completely satisfied with what I got. But because I paid $60 for it, I expected more. So some people think that may color stuff. I hope it doesn't, but I will make sure, I'm going to mention that in my review, just, as kind of a postscript kind of thing after the end of the review, mention just saying, hey, I did get this game for $5, so if you think that colors my opinions on it, so be it. Leave that up to you guys. But yeah, so this is the first time with the camera. here on PlayStation 4. I'm going to, I think I'm going to try, and there's some nice features on here. They got like a chroma key so that you can put up a blue or green background behind you. So I may look into that for future streams, because that'll get rid of this. My walls are supposed to be white, but they don't look white. They look more yellow. So get rid of that yellow background. Guess you notice I'm wearing my PlayStation shirt. You know, we are all themed out today. But that's enough talking. Let's dig into this. First time I've seen that, press the options button. Alright, so we got extras. The announcement trailer, mechanical part title, Deus Ex recap video. Let's check that out.
It was 2027. Advances in biotechnology were helping people improve their physical and mental abilities to an amazing degree. Provided, of course, they had enough money. A new breed of people was emerging, half human, half machine. And in Detroit, at least, not everyone was happy to see it. I'd just landed a job as head of security at Sarif Industries, a cutting-edge biotech firm.
Just finished
David
this game
Sarif himself handpicked me for the job. Said he needed me to keep his people safe. My ex, Megan Reed, was one of them. A brilliant neuroscientist, Megan had found a way to make augmentation safe and affordable for everyone. All she had to do was present her research to Congress. But the night before her big meeting, my security measures failed. A team of Black Op mercenaries stormed into Sarif headquarters, massacring everyone in sight. 3 of the mercs were heavily augmented walking tanks. Their mission? Take out Megan and her team. I tried to stop them, but their leader tossed me through a plate glass wall. Last thing I heard as his bullets slammed into my brain was Megan's dying scream. I should have died with her. Only I didn't. High-end military-grade enhancements saved my life. The best augmentation Sarif's money could buy. It took me half a year to get a feel for her. Should have taken longer. But 6 months into my recovery, Sarif Industries was attacked again. This time, by a radical group of pro-human purists. Violent, militant, and fanatically opposed to human augmentation. They claimed to be members of Humanity Front, a non-profit organization that wanted the UN to limit biotechnology research. The thugs broke into Sarif's factory and found machinists working overtime on a top-secret military augment called the Typhoon. Sarif sent me to retrieve it. And when I did, I found one of the so-called purists next to it, wired with cerebral implants, trying to download its classified specs. Obviously, something more was going on. The AUG killed himself before I could question him. Sarif ordered me to dig deeper, so with the help of Frank Pritchard, Sarif's head of cybersecurity, I did. Turns out a second hacker had been controlling the AUG's actions from somewhere off-site. Pritchard and I tracked his signal to a secret FEMA internment camp in Detroit. The Black Op mercenaries were there.
All sounded very familiar.
The same mercs who'd left me for dead 6 months before. Figured they'd try again when they saw me. It wasn't so easy for them this time. I took out the tank named Barrett. Even got him to give me a new lead. A penthouse apartment in China. Of course, we both knew it would be a trap in the end. Hengsha Island, China. Home to a city so crowded, they had to build a second city on top of it. Trying to find clues in Hengsha wouldn't be easy. Lucky for me, I wasn't alone. Farida Malik, Sarif Industries' ace pilot, had lived in Hengsha before. A good person to have on your side. She knew enough about the place to get me around. Malik dropped me in the lower city, close to the penthouse Barrett had told me about. Bell Tower Associates, a private security firm under contract to the Chinese government, had agents tossing the suite when I arrived. Just not for the reason I'd been expecting. Turns out the man who lived there was a criminal hacker named Van Bruggen. The same hacker who'd been remotely controlling the AUG in Sarif's factory. Van Bruggen's panicked decision to force the man to commit suicide had been a mistake. Now his mercenary partners were gunning for him, and I needed to find him before they did.
Yeah.
Locating Van Bruggen meant playing nice with the Triads, anxious organized crime lords. They had the hacker holed up inside a low-rent capsule hotel. By the time I found him, Van Bruggen had no qualms giving up the woman who hired him. Zhao Yunru, president of the Taiyang Medical Corporation. According to Van Bruggen, Zhao wanted to monopolize the augmentation industry and had hired Black Op mercenaries to destabilize her competition.
I'm not sure how they're going to handle this, but
was at the top of her list.
There's a couple of
this,
decisions.
I needed to get inside TYM.
There were
and grab a
characters
surveillance
who
hologram off the
lived
server.
or died based on decisions.
I suspected Van
Malik,
Bruggen was hiding something when he told me this.
These people can live or die depending on what you
Nothing could have
do.
prepared me for what I saw. Megan wasn't dead. She and her 4 best researchers had been kidnapped, spirited away somewhere while their kidnappers made it look like they were dead. Desperate to learn more, I confronted Zhao in her penthouse.
So
She claimed to be a
said they didn't
pawn in a
pick any
bigger plan,
one ending
and hinted at a
from the
group
previous game.
so
There were, I
powerful
think, 3 different
it controlled
endings?
global interests at a whim. Then she slipped into a panic room and hit me up, forcing me to make a very quick exit. I figured Zhao was lying, but part of her confession made sense. David Sarif had been worried about his people. So worried, he'd required all of them to have subdermal locator devices surgically implanted. The GPOs would have been broadcasting the day of the attack. But Zhao said a single call to Picus, the world's leader in global 24-hour satellite news, had turned those signals off. I needed to fly to Picus headquarters in Montreal if I wanted to learn more.
This is a long video.
Eliza Cassan, Picus Communications' First
Pretty
Lady of
detailed.
News. Malik thought I was reaching when I told her Eliza was involved in this. The world's most famous news anchor, working with a mercenary hit squad. But when I confronted Cassan in her office, she freely admitted to jamming Detroit's satellites the night Megan's team had been taken. Said she's just been following her commands. I suspected she wanted to say more. But Black Op mercenaries showed up looking to shut us both down. And just like that, the Eliza I'd been talking to disappeared. The mercs were led by an augmented killer I'd crossed paths with twice before. Fedorova, a woman who'd made silence her best friend. She waited for me to track Eliza's transmission to a secret server room underneath the Picus complex, then jumped me from behind. A deadly fight ensued. I made sure she never moved silently again. With Fedorova down and no one left to keep Eliza quiet, she reappeared. Turns out Picus's First Lady of News wasn't a lady at all. She was a sophisticated AI program, engineered to monitor data streams and control what people believed.
Yep.
Eliza told me the mercs had brought in a Humanity Front doctor named Isaiah Sandoval to remove the scientist's implanted tracking devices while Detroit's satellites were down. She also told me to speak to David Sarif if I wanted to learn more. By the time Malik and I got back to Detroit, tensions between normal and augmented citizens had reached a flashpoint. Riots were breaking out in several cities. The UN